If an attraction wants to survive, it needs to stay fresh. With some help from Val Valentine, the Miracle Strip got a new look.
Now, the reason the Devil's Head is the size it is because people have to walk over his tongue to go into the thing. So you've got to have enough headroom between where they're standing and his top teeth so they don't bump their heads, right?
With all of the changes, the Miracle Strip has stayed true to itself. Tourists don't seem to mind.
No, they come into Miracle Strip Park, which is a small park, and they have a good time, a great time, see? And they're not comparing it to Disney.
This one is still here, and it survived. We're going to keep this one as it has been, just because it's a monument to the way things were back then.
Not all attractions make it. Some simply drift into the past.
The ghost town was a lot of work, more work than a miniature golf course, so it wasn't something my dad really enjoyed. He liked the building of things, but he didn't like being in charge of operating them.
Sometimes there are attractions that the demand for them is just no longer there. The Jungle Land volcano is a big department store now with the volcano protruding from the roof.
It's all right. It does not have what we had there. You know, it's not as effective. It's so many things that you do and then they disappear, or they disappear physically, but they never disappear, you know, mentally. You always look back on things.
Weeki Wachee has changed over the years. They have buildings here. It's just like a playground here now. We're still breathing through the same hoses, the same way. We're eating and drinking. They're still doing some of the same things, so I say we pioneered that for them.
That was always a nice thing. When a grandparent could bring a child back and say, I came here when I was young, and now I'm bringing you, you know, that's a third generation. That's a good feeling when you can go back and look at something that you saw and they were able to see.
In 1992, Hurricane Andrew wreaked havoc on South Florida. The devastation didn't spare area attractions like Monkey Jungle.
We drove back to the jungle, and when I walked into the door, I saw these little eyes looking at me, and I looked at my brother and I said, Frank, these animals, they're all alive. So that was really the reason we decided to go on. We knew it was in our heart and in our heritage, and it was worth the effort. today's society, we're a lot more sensitive to the animals in their natural habitats. So we don't do those types of exhibits. What we do are natural behaviors within their own exhibit. And most of the zoos now are moving towards that type of animal behavior rather than stage shows.
It took 18 years before I decided that this is what I wanted to do, because I felt for me to walk away from this family business that has this genuine history of caring for animals and being good for the business, to turn my back on that would have been a major mistake, and if I would have done that, it would have been major regret forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Lawrence Tetzlaff.
At one time, it was acceptable to have full-fledged tiger rack, leopard shows, chimp shows, bear shows, elephant shows, everything here in the Caribbean Gardens, but it's kind of fallen out of what the public thinks is acceptable, so we had to find something that the people would still enjoy, still see the human-animal interaction, yet be more educated, still entertained, and leave here with some sort of conservation message. Now, lemur is a old Latin word. It means spirit of the dead. In my opinion, if you took a monkey and a fox and a cat, threw them in a sack and shook it up, this is what would jump back out.
Crikey, look! This is amazing! I've never seen one quite this large before.
We used to keep a number of primates in enclosures, enclosed areas like the average zoo does. To be honest, I didn't care for primates at all. We exhibit them, the public likes them, we took the best care of them possible. But in 1991, when our general manager, Ralph Williams, got the idea to renovate an 8-acre lake with these islands and put these animals from cages out on these natural areas, my whole perception of primates changed dramatically. So that showed us we might have done something wrong before, but doggone it, now we have done something right, and it's made me not only give the animals a better life, but also a better appreciation of them.
One of the great things about Marineland is the people that are working here are here, they're motivated by the animals. They're not motivated by money. I mean, nobody here is really making a whole lot of money. Everybody here has got a second job. The reason why we're here and the reason why we love our job so much is because we're here for the animals. And that's the only reason why we're here.
Marineland has been struggling to survive after years of financial hardship. But as far as the animals are concerned, Marineland remains an unqualified success. The park has more dolphin births than anywhere else in captivity. Its dolphins also live longer by far than anywhere else. Nellie, Marineland's star, is the world's oldest dolphin.
Nellie's an old girl, but we have a lot of old dolphins as well. We have dolphins that came in from the wild way back in 1964, and we don't really know how old they are. But you do the math, that makes them a fairly old animal. I think this place as a whole is just, it's conducive to good dolphin health.
Up in the circular tank, it's a lot different. You have 11 animals in that tank. The training, the access to the animals is restricted because of the shape of the tank. I love that tank. You're seeing a lot of natural behaviors. You're seeing stuff that you would normally see in the wild when you're seeing it in a captive situation. And the animals up there learn a lot from themselves. A lot of the behaviors that you see in that show are captured, what we call captured behaviors. The animals learn it themselves or teach each other, and then we just take what we like and reinforce what we like and just build a show that way.
It's such an historical place, and you know what it does? It really gives you the flavor of what Florida was like before.
Just walking around our park, you get a chunk of what Florida's like. I mean, we have some definite Florida habitat in here. You know, we've got the live oaks, we've got cypress swamp. So you get an idea that Florida is not all concrete and plastic.
I think that the family-operated facilities have a lot more heart to them, and they put their heart and their soul into their animals and to their exhibits. They really care about the animals. I'm not saying that the corporate entities don't care about the animals. It's just they have a different way of displaying their animals than maybe the smaller places like Weeki Jungle do.
This is not a fly-by-night thing. You know, they invested their life in it, and they put their families in it, and their families spent their life with it.
We cannot be a large attraction, but we can still fulfill entertainment for the family, and the family that visits here will walk out with a greater knowledge, an intimate experience with animals and the staff. Yeah, there'll always be a place for us.